This is a Sealine SC35. These are massively popular, so I wanted to show you this and explain to you exactly why. Now this is a 2012, which makes it a 40th anniversary version, so it has a couple of upgrades. One is, I don't know how else is picking it up, but it's got the cream coloured hull on this rather than just the plain white all the way through, which is interesting. And if we come right to the back, another thing that you get on the anniversary versions is the extended bathing platform. You can see how this one is a little longer than they would normally be. They'd normally be to about there and go across. This has got the longer one. It's quite a sharp looking boat, and the space on here is really good for a 35 footer. So let's go on board and I'll give you a walk through and show you what I mean. So this is this big bathing platform. It doesn't lower, it's fixed, but of course you could pull a tender up onto it if you wanted to. You can also get Hurley davit systems that allow you to lift it and then swing it if you wanted a rib on there. So that's the way you deal with that. And then here it's got a hardtop on it, got the canopy on at the moment. And of course all of this canopy section at the back here comes off, but also this whole roof system. It's a manual roof. You unclip it at the front and it just tracks all the way back, so you get a huge open void. And it makes it a very open boat with that open. But of course, as it is today on a chilly day on the River Thames, it turns this into a really nice internal area. Plenty of seating around the place. Over on this side you've got the wet bar, so you've got the griddle underneath there, you've got the sink of course, and then in here some storage and the fridge. The helm is up ahead of this, so this is where you drive the boat from. It's got lift bolsters on the seat so you can stand and drive if you want to, and then your marine instrumentation is across here. So this is the MDF, like so, and the engine instrumentation is down on this side, as you can see. So that's the helm position and the cockpit, but I think what is most interesting is the interior. So let's go down inside. And what you find with this, because it's quite a high boat, there's a lot of headroom in here, and it does make it feel a very spacious boat, not just because of the headroom, but also because they put these big skylights in the centre, throwing a load of light into here, so it does feel really nice. Galley is over on this side. This has got the light wood in this, which looks very nice, and you've got things like gas cooking, so it's 2-burner hob and the oven is underneath. Sink is underneath that one, and that one then is just a bit more storage. There is a fridge inside here, and that one up above it is your cutlery drawer. And then this is just storage around the place in places like this, and up behind here. Now opposite this is the dinette area, or the saloon. This has got the leather upholstery. It was another 40th anniversary upgrade, so some quite nice features on this one. And then if we head on through the boat, this wooden flooring also is very nice. This is the forward cabin. Now I often find when I look at these boats, I have a very rousing game of hunt the light switch, and I'm going to show you where the light switch is on this one because it's quite intriguing. I'll show you the cabin first of all, in fact. So double bed in the centre, as you can see. This is storage in behind here, so a big hanging locker for example, and there's a drawer that pulls out underneath it. And also on the other side is access to the heads, so it's ensuite access that's in behind here, and that takes us into the single heads on this boat. It's also accessed from just there. However, I need to talk to you about light switches. Where do you think the light switches might be on here? You might think, well, they're going to be just inside the doors, aren't they? No, double folding doors, they're not there. Ceiling is a good place to look. They're not on the ceiling. Down by the side of the bed? Nope. Took me about 10 minutes, found them in the end. Want to see them? Here we go. Sealine very nearly won this battle. Nearly didn't find them at all. That's some proper light switch hiding, that is. Once you know they're there, they're absolutely fine, of course, but yeah, a bit of a struggle the first time. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Heads compartment, really good size on this boat. You can see that's the doorway through. As I mentioned, you can have that ensuite to the forward cabin, and then you've got a separate shower store, which is something you don't often see on a 35 footer. That's very nice indeed. If you can close that door off, then keep everything else dry. big boat feature. And then we head on back down the boat. I'll just show you over here as we go past, because this is, again, storage areas. Up in behind here, the stereo is there as well. That little fella there, I think, is a like an electronic barometer. It maps the air pressure, and that one up there is a carbon monoxide detector. Very, very good idea on any boat. And this is the switch panel. So over here, you've got your power for things like your winch and your VHF. Yeah, lighting is on here, so the main circuit breakers and the stereo and the fridge and so on. And the one underneath then is for your shore power. So this is things like your fridge supply from the shore power. These are dual voltage, so they'll run off either. That barbecue up in the cockpit is from here, water heater, battery charger, and so on. The water heater, incidentally, when you're in the marina, that'll heat off of the shore power, but if you're out at sea, it heats from the engine. And then if we head on back a little further, we find the mid cabin. Now again, another very unusual feature, and it makes these very popular with people who've got slightly larger families, is you've got 3 beds in here. So you've got that one across there, and then you've got those 2 across there. It's a really nice cabin. And you can sit here with loads of headroom, and you can have another rousing game of Hunt the Light Switch. There it is. And what else have we got in here? This is just a nice hanging locker, and those are the infill cushions. I think you can convert that one into extra sleeping if you want to. I think that's what those are for. So that's the cabin, but it is a very spacious boat for a 35-footer. It's beamy and it's high, and the light wood really helps. And so does that big skylight in the ceiling. Feels very nice, very good indeed. Let's have a look around the deck, and then we'll take a look at the engines, of course. So we're back up through here. This is a locker that goes across underneath the helm seat. These are more infill cushions, and there's also a boarding ladder in there that goes onto the bathing platform. Those infill cushions there are for this, because you see it's on a telescopic leg. You can drop that down, and you can make that into sunbathing as well if you want to. And that table as well, you can see it's folded in half at the minute. That will unfold and make that twice the size. Let's head out this way. That is where that boarding ladder plugs into, just there. And then great access onto the side decks. There's a shower here. That's what that fella is. And decent side decks on this. Good rail along here as well. And you can see from here that massive opening roof section. It really is huge. Transforms the boat with that open. Let's go right to the front. And up here, it's quite interesting, they've concealed the anchor. Instead of hanging over the front, you can just see it. It actually pokes through underneath. You can see the flukes of it just there. So that, there we go. You can see the mechanism for it there, and the anchor winch is in there as well, of course, and the anchor chain. And the buttons to control that are a little easier to find than the light switches there, just here and just here. It's a big slab of boat there for a 35-footer, isn't it? Let's head on back and take a look at those engines. Nice boat to move around, this one. Okay, so if we go in through here, the engine access there under the floor, so we can lift that one. And that's the engine space. And again, still plenty of space. You've got a proper ladder down into here. And you can get right in front of these engines, drop yourself down, and there they are. It's a really deceiving boat. For a 35-footer, you wouldn't think that you'd find so much space everywhere. Normally you find like a big saloon and then the cabins are compromised, or you find big cabins and then there's not much room in the engine space. This somehow They found room everywhere. These are a pair of Volvo Penta, the D4 260 engines. Twins, obviously, as you can see. Top speed on this, I'm going to guess she's probably about low to mid 30s, 30 to 35 knot sort of area, I would imagine. And then range, well, this sort of boat typically is sort of 200, 250 miles. But that's a great engine space, isn't it? Hot water tank is in here as well. That's the heating system up there on the Warts diesel-fired heating. Very good indeed. Very good. A lot of thought went into the design of these, and that's why I was keen to show it to you, because it's worth having a good look around and seeing what these are all about. So let's come back up from here. We'll drop that one back down. Like so. And I think I will sit on this very comfortable looking seat here and say huge thanks to TBS Boats up here in Penton Hook. They got this one for sale. I'll put a link to those guys in the description. And as ever, huge thanks to you guys for watching. We'll catch you on another one very soon. Take care. Bye bye.